Hey everyone, so today we are going to be putting grain spawn to substrate. Go through a couple of the tools. First, you see we have oyster mushroom grain spawn. Now this was already inoculated on 10/20. You see the date there. We have a grain spawn. We have our substrate. This is a sawdust substrate. I got this from liquidfungi.com. They were having a sale on their substrate, so I grabbed that. That's a 5-pound bag. The grain spawn is only a 1-pound bag. I got this grain spawn bag from shroomsupply.com. I'm not affiliated with either one of those guys, but I've gotten good stuff from them so far. Got my tin foil. Of course, isopropyl alcohol, 70%. I got some hand sanitizer. This is not really for my hands. This is more for my arms because, as you'll see in a minute, I'm going to be reaching into this substrate bag, and I don't want anything on my arms to get in on the inside of the bag because I'm only using half. Measuring cup, but this is for, I'm using it as a scoop. And of course, a couple gloves. And this is the tray that I'm going to use inside of my tub for these mushrooms to actually fruit after they're colonized. So that I am not a professional, that everything that I am doing, even everything on this channel, is for documentation, education, and entertainment purposes. All of this is an experiment. Anything that I say on this channel is my own opinion. I would encourage you to do your own due diligence and research as much as possible. I have taken the time to sanitize the pan as well as both the bags with isopropyl. One tool I did forget to mention, pair of scissors, and I've also cleaned these with alcohol as well. So I cleaned my cup with alcohol that I'm going to be using as a scoop. And we're going to be doing this kind of like lasagna in layers. So since I'm going to be holding on to half of this substrate and I'm only using half of the bag, I'm going to be cutting above the filter patch so I can reseal this and use it. I've actually got another bag of grain spawn for lion's mane that is colonizing right now inside of my bucket. So let's get started. We'll just cut this top off. And then I'm also going to be cutting the top off of this one. Now I'm going to use the entire grain spawn, so it doesn't matter if I cut this patch off. Also, we need to do this before. We do need to break this grain spawn up as much as possible. Alright, we got that ready. Let's do my hands one more time. A little isopropyl. Every video you ever watch will tell you that you can't be too clean. Alright, now I'm going to take a scoop of my substrate and put it in. Let's get another little bit. I'm just going to spread it around to try to cover the full bottom. There are lots of good videos showing you and telling you a lot more about why you would do this. So now we're going to layer in some of our grain spawn. Okay. You want to make sure you go in here and break up any chunks and spread that across. Okay. And put our next layer of substrate on top. We'll probably use a little bit more. Now I'm not doing any kind of measurement, so if I use a little bit more than half of this substrate, I'll probably have to deal with it later when I'm doing the lion's mane. All right, so I really, based on the depth of the pan, I really only want to do maybe one more layer of substrate. So I'm going to do quite a good layer here of grain. We'll save a little bit for the top. And try to be clean, people. Try to be clean. Make sure you break up any chunks. Okay, spread that out. And let's do a little bit more substrate. We'll do a thinner layer this time. Spread that out. I know I've been doing meticulously, I've been layering this, but really I'm going to mix this all up as well with my hands. So make sure you try to get all of the grain spawn out. You want all of that great mycelium. Okay. So now I think, actually, let's put another thin layer. Now, a lot of people will tell you you want to handle this as little as possible because even now it's susceptible to contamination. So basically, I'm not pushing very hard, but I am kind of tamping it down. Just a little bit more substrate on the top. We don't want it to go all the way to the top. I wanted a little bit of space, but I did want to cover up as much of that grain as possible with the substrate. And the mycelium will just colonize later. Right. You know, a little final press down. Now that we are done with the substrate, since I'm going to use it again, I want to push out all of the air that I can. And I'm just going to fold that under and we'll keep that for later. All right. Sorry about the camera. So now we need to cover this with a piece of aluminum foil. So here's something. You see the foil, number one, you got about 2 or 3 inches that is wide open. It's not touching the roll anymore. Number two, the clean part is on the inside. So when you pull this out, you want to pull it out, give yourself some room, and make sure that you are putting it down. So see, I've left a little bit of room on this side where I knew it was hanging out. And I'm going to try not to use that. So you just want to get a nice tight fit. Okay. I think that's pretty good. I don't think that it's touching on the inside, which is also something I wanted to be sure of. Now, My scissors have been cleaned, but I'm gonna shoot them with a little more alcohol because I want to use these. We're gonna have to poke holes. So you wanna poke holes, one in each corner and one in the middle. And they don't need to be big, you just need a little bit for gas exchange. So just a teeny one in each corner and then right in the center. All right, I've got my tub here. I will show you, I put the remaining substrate in here because I know this is a clean space. All right, and you can also see that I've got some grain spawn in here that I've inoculated. This is lion's mane. It was inoculated on 11/4. I may make another video showing that as well. I do plan on later showing an inoculation video, but before we stick our tray in there, I'm going to give it one final clean inside. So some isopropyl on a towel. Now I know it's not important for the floor so much, but I'm going to give it a clean anyway. Hit all of these sides. One thing you don't see, because I have tape over it right now, is there are holes all the way around the side, and I've made these, I think they're 3/4 of an inch, just because that's the bit I had, but there are holes here. I've covered them with some duct tape first because we don't need so much airflow right now. When we go to fruit, that's going to be completely different. So now I'm going to put these in here. Make sure you keep your seal. I'm also going to do one more clean on the lid, because the lid has been out. It's been flipped upside down. It's been touching things. And we want to be careful as possible. So, now this, nothing special about this bin. I just happened to find it. It was pretty cheap at my local Home Depot. And I liked how it had the seal in here. All right, now it's clean. We'll put the lid on, lock it down. Now, I did not label this with a date, although I probably should have. It took the grain spawn right at about 20 days, 19 actually, to fully colonize the grain. I think that has to do with the type of strain that I picked up. Again, I got, these are white oyster. I think they're actually called pearl white oyster. I got them from liquidfungi.com, where I also got the substrate. Again, I'm not affiliated. I don't get any kind of kickbacks or anything like that, but so far they have been pretty professional, and their spores have been great. So this should take about a week to fully colonize the substrate, maybe 10 days. I'll come back in about 10 days and check on them to see. And when we put these into fruiting conditions, I'll also make a video on that so you guys can stay up on that and we can watch these things grow together. I really appreciate you watching the video if you made it this far. If you can, click the like button for me. That lets everybody else see my video as well. And if you like the content so far, I'd appreciate it if you click the subscribe button. And I'm going to be trying to put out more videos similar to this. Although on this channel, we pretty much touch on everything. It's not just mushrooms. Thanks a lot, everyone, and I hope you have a great day.